If I had to move to New Braunfels all over again, I mean relocate all over again, here are the neighborhoods I would be seriously looking at. Because as you know, going online and browsing through homes only tells you so much. Knowing about that area, knowing what that area is like, makes all the difference in the world. So in today's video, I'm sharing 5 neighborhoods I'd personally consider if I were relocating to New Braunfels all over again. Now, based on lifestyle, long-term value, and first-hand local insight. If you are new here to my channel, thank you so much for coming aboard today, because every week we're dropping relevant and timely information just like this about what it's like to live in New Braunfels. Now, before we get to my 5 neighborhoods I would consider if I were to relocate to New Braunfels all over again, here's what matters to me most, and this is an approach you should think about too. I love people. I love being around people. I love the energy. I love being close to all the action. I also love activity and outdoor living. But as I get older, because we all do, low maintenance is also a plus. Your needs may be totally different from mine, but knowing what you want, knowing what your needs are ahead of time, makes finding the right neighborhood in New Braunfels so much easier. With that in mind, the number 1 neighborhood I would consider if I were to relocate to New Braunfels all over again is Veramendi. Veramendi is our first master plan community in New Braunfels that started several years ago. It's on top of the hill in New Braunfels off our main loop. It's everything I just mentioned I need: energy, people, some views, and only a couple miles from downtown and our city amenities. It's an active community too. People are out walking every day. They're swimming in the summer. They're out playing in the many pocket parks in the neighborhood, and they're eating at the breakfast place, socializing. I also like Veramendi because it's west of our main highway, where you're closer to, like I said, downtown, closer to our historic district of Green, close to shopping. I mean, really close to shopping. This is how close. I also love this neighborhood for what it's becoming, a town within a town. This here is the new phase of Veramendi, where you'll have 2 large regional parks. I mean, each one larger than the park where we host most of our videos, Landa Park. There will be green spaces, trails, a second amenity center, new homes sandwiched between the parks here, and toward the end of this 20-year master plan community, there's a downtown area in the plans which will feature retail, restaurants, and shops in this one area. So if I had to do this all over again, this relocation thing all over again, I'd definitely build a home in this new section in Veramendi because of what's coming and what's already here at Veramendi. This entire community, and this is my favorite part, will eventually become very, very walkable. I mean, to the point where you open your front door and you're steps away from parks, schools, restaurants, and retail, plus entertainment. I love the concept of master plan communities because you don't have to leave the neighborhood for what you need, especially if you work from home or out of your car or both, like I do. With that theme in mind, the number 2 neighborhood I would consider if I were to move to New Braunfels all over again is Mayfair. Mayfair is our second master plan community, and on the other side of New Braunfels, actually on the northern tip of New Braunfels, east of our main highway. So you're a little bit further away from all the action. A little, not a lot though. Only a couple miles from our big box stores and shopping area here, including the lifestyle hub that it's becoming with Top Golf opening soon and a new family venue featuring pickleball and padel courts just opened. At Veramendi right now, you have to actually leave the neighborhood to pick up groceries and other things. At Mayfair, you won't have to. That's because Costco is well underway and coming to this corner of Mayfair, and it's scheduled to be finished in spring of 2026. I'm a big fan of the developer at Mayfair called South Star. These are the same people who created our acreage community, Vintage Oaks. If there's one thing you should know about South Star when it comes to lifestyle, they don't mess around. In about a year's time, crews built homes. They built Mayfair's featured park with a bike pump track here and disc golf course. There's a brand new elementary school already open and a middle school coming soon. Like Veramendi, Mayfair is all about lifestyle with everything I mentioned, plus some nice trails here, more green spaces coming, and this big part of Mayfair at the center of Mayfair. It's called Midtown Mayfair. This will include entertainment, the neighborhood's first pool, retail, and more coming to this part right here, scheduled to be finished summer 2026. So again, less car dependent, which I love, more walkable areas. Now, Mayfair is a little bit closer to Austin because it sits on the northern edge of New Braunfels, and it's a well-connected community with the developer initiating many neighbor-focused events and activities during the year, including the big event, which is also open to the public every year, It's in May. It's called Mayfest. One unique advantage that Mayfair has over Verimendi is that Mayfair sits within a school district boundary that gives its homeowners, get this, an additional 20% local homestead exemption. So if you live at Mayfair, you're going to save a lot more in property taxes. The third neighborhood I would consider moving to if I had to relocate to New Braunfels all over again is Vintage Oaks. You already know about the developer South Star, the same one as Mayfair. Now, Vintage Oaks is technically located in Canyon Lake, but it has a New Braunfels address. So Vintage Oaks it's a little bit further away from all the action. You know, I like to be close to the action. So Vintage Oaks is about a 10-15 minute drive from shopping and downtown New Braunfels. So it's not that bad. But here's why I'm considering Vintage Oaks. It lowers your blood pressure. There are acreage lots with amazing views and rolling hills. Plenty of ways to stay active here, including walking, swimming, the new pickleball courts, soccer, and baseball for the kids. There are miles of natural trails. There are smaller pocket pools scattered throughout the 3,900 acre neighborhood. There's a large field where residents gather for concerts and other activities. And since Vintage Oaks is so open, so vast, and so full of nature, it's a golf cart community. So you can easily just hop in the golf cart, leave the car behind, and go to a neighbor's house, go to the amenities in the open air. You'll see deer out in Vintage Oaks all the time. This is part of the landscape. I saw this guy during a house showing last week. Plus, the Vintage Oaks acreage part is in the same school district that offers homeowners that additional 20% homestead exemption. Now, if an acre of land or more than an acre in a custom home is not in your budget, fear not. Vintage Oaks has a more affordable side. It's called the Grove on smaller lots. Some nice semi-custom and production builders as well. So you're getting a nice home in a nice area, and you have access to all the same amenities the folks on the acreage side have. Plus, you get this fitness center at the Grove. Since I need to be closer to the action in New Braunfels, I'd have to unfortunately be away from the Vintage Oaks home quite a bit. So I'd have to get in maybe an office in city limits or just continue working out of my car. That said, my fourth and fifth neighborhoods I would consider moving to if I were to relocate to New Braunfels all over again are both within city limits. Number 4 on my list of neighborhoods I would consider is Legacy at Lake Dunlap. Now, I'm not a big fan of this location because it's east of our main highway and off our state highway 46, and that's the problem. There's been so much growth between New Braunfels and Seguin that it's made traffic, especially during rush hour, it's just, well, I mean, you're looking at it. But the state has a long-term plan to add lanes to loosen up this congestion. Okay, that aside, I still would consider living at Legacy at Lake Dunlap because, again, it's not too far away from all the action. It's only 3.5 miles from our main highway. Plus, it's got the active lifestyle that I like coming soon with amenities and trails, and the neighborhood backs up to a lake. And I like this neighborhood because it's smaller. It's only 60 acres, easy in, easy out, and some nice production builders out here as well. We have clients who moved to Legacy at Lake Dunlap and more coming in December. Our first client family, though, is a welcoming committee to newer and current residents. They organize so many of the events and activities, so already you have this built-in welcoming mats for you. Plus, there are more businesses popping in this area wherever there are more rooftops. More retail is sure to follow, new restaurants, and a possible grocery store sometime down the road right across from Legacy at Lake Dunlap. And the tax rate at Legacy at Lake Dunlap is lower than most New Braunfels neighborhoods. Plus, you get that 20% extra homestead exemption. The fifth neighborhood I would consider if I moved to New Braunfels today is very low maintenance and very high energy. It's called Gartenhaus. Yes, these little cottage homes. This neighborhood is inside the developing mixed-use development called Psalms Landing, surrounded by big box shops, specialty shops, restaurants, movies, office space, a hospital, banks. More retail is coming to this area, plus 2 new family entertainment venues. One just opened called the Courthouse, pickleball, adult courts, as we mentioned earlier, and the other one, as we mentioned, Top Golf, scheduled to open soon. Sprouts Farmers Market is coming soon, along with new restaurants and a huge gym. Hey, I don't mind at all taking care of less around the house and less house with these smaller lots. No garages, no community pool, no problem. There's pickleball, so there's that. Quality 1- and 2-story homes, and this area is eligible for short-term rentals. So if you want to buy one of these as an investment and not your primary home, you can do that. We have a client with multiple investment properties at Garden House, and he does pretty well on these with attracting a lot of snowbirds. And we have another client getting ready to close on his first investment property at Garden House. Now, other than the low maintenance, and that's a plus, the other reason I'd consider these smaller cottage style homes is because of what's planned for this development, including trails that connect over to the big box store, so it'll become more walkable in this area. Retail and restaurants and a farmer's market is planned for this area in Psalms Landing, and you already have the first lifestyle piece of this entire area, Creekside and Psalms Landing, right down the road. So you see a theme with me. Likes to be closer to the action, likes energy, likes people, doesn't mind being a little further away if there's a trade-off like calming views and nature. So this is the criteria I use to determine which neighborhoods I would consider if I moved to New Braunfels today. But I want to hear from you. What about you? If you moved to New Braunfels today, you had to move to New Braunfels today, where would you live? But more importantly, what is your criteria? What are your needs? Let me know in the comment section below. And if your needs are to move to New Braunfels or sell a house in New Braunfels, either one of those, of course, I'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can email me, you can call me, or you can shoot me a text. As always, thank you so much for coming to and watching our videos every week, and we'll see you on the next one.